I wasn't trying to snoop. I swear. But the moment I saw that message, that one line, I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. It was her dad. And he wrote, "Don't let him find out. Not yet. I'm not going to share my name. I don't think I could, even if I wanted to. I'm 27. I live in a small town in northern Michigan. Grew up here. Never really left. I work at a local auto shop, nothing fancy, just oil changes, brake jobs, the occasional transmission rebuild. I've always been the quiet type. Not shy, just reserved. I keep to myself. I don't drink much. I don't party. I've got a dog named Milo and a beat-up Ford Ranger that's older than I am. Life was simple. Predictable. Until I met her. Her name was Emily. She moved here from Chicago, said she wanted a slower pace, something quieter. She was a nurse at the clinic across town. We met at the grocery store, of all places. She was standing in front of the cereal aisle, looking completely overwhelmed. I made some dumb joke about how the off-brand stuff tastes the same, and she laughed. That laugh. It was like someone cracked open a window in a stuffy room. We started talking. Then texting. Then dating. 6 months in, she moved in with me. It felt fast, but it also felt right. She was warm. Funny. A little chaotic, but in a way that made life feel alive. She'd dance in the kitchen while making pancakes. She'd leave sticky notes on the bathroom mirror with dumb doodles and "I love you" scribbled in messy handwriting. I thought I'd found my person. I really did. Things weren't perfect. She had nightmares sometimes. I'd wake up to her crying, curled up in a ball, whispering things I couldn't make out. She said she didn't remember them. I didn't push. She didn't talk much about her family. Just said her parents were complicated. That she didn't visit often. I figured maybe there was trauma. Abuse. Something she wasn't ready to share. I wanted to be patient. But there were moments, little cracks, that made me wonder. Like the time I found a photo tucked into one of her books. It was her, maybe 10 years old, standing next to a man I didn't recognize. She snatched it from my hand so fast I barely saw it. "That's no one," she said. "Just an old neighbor." Her voice was tight. Her hands were shaking. I let it go. Then there was her phone. She always kept it face down. Always had a passcode. Again, I didn't want to be that guy. The paranoid boyfriend. But something felt off. One night, she got a call around 2 a.m. She didn't answer. Just stared at the screen until it stopped ringing. I asked who it was. She said, "Wrong number." But her voice cracked. I didn't sleep that night. Then came the day everything changed. It was a Sunday. She was in the shower. Her phone buzzed on the counter. I wasn't trying to snoop. I swear. But the screen lit up. And I saw the preview. It was a text from someone labeled Dad. And it said, "Don't let him find out. Not yet." I froze. My stomach dropped. I picked up the phone. The message was still there. I tapped it. I know I shouldn't have. But I did. And what I saw. It wasn't just one message. It was a thread. Dozens of texts. Going back months. Her dad. Her mom. Even someone named Aunt Claire. All talking about me. About the plan. About how he doesn't know. About how Emily needs more time. One message said, "He's getting too close. She needs to pull back." Another, "If he finds out, it'll ruin everything." I felt something inside me just break. I put the phone down. Walked out of the bathroom. Sat on the edge of the bed. My hands were shaking. I didn't know what to think. What to feel. What the hell was going on? She came out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, humming some song. She saw my face. Stopped cold. "What's wrong?" she asked. I said, almost whispering. "What don't I know?" Her eyes widened. She looked at the phone. Then back at me. And in that moment, I knew, nothing would ever be the same. She didn't speak right away. Just stood there, dripping water onto the floor, staring at me like I was a ghost. I said it again. Louder this time. "What don't I know?" She sat down across from me, towel still clutched around her like armor. Her lips parted. Then closed. Then parted again. "I was going to tell you," she said. I laughed. It wasn't a happy laugh. It was the kind of laugh that comes out when your brain short-circuits. "When?" I asked. "After the wedding. After I found out from someone else." She flinched. "There's no wedding," she said. "We're not even engaged." "That's not the point," I snapped. I could feel my heart pounding in my ears. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. But I stayed. Because I needed answers. She took a deep breath. "I didn't move here for a slower pace," she said. "I moved here because of you." I blinked. "What?" She looked down. "I knew who you were before I met you." My stomach turned. "I don't understand." She nodded slowly. "I didn't expect to fall for you. That wasn't part of it. But I did. I swear to God, I did." I stood up. Paced. "What do you mean you knew me? How?" She hesitated. Then said, "My parents, they knew your mom." I stopped. Dead in my tracks. "My mom died when I was 15. "I know," she whispered. I stared at her. "What does that have to do with anything?" She looked up at me. Eyes red. "I'm your half-sister." I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I couldn't think. "No," I said. "No. That's not possible." She nodded. "It is. My dad, he had an affair. With your mom. Before she died. I didn't know until last year. They told me everything. Showed me pictures. Letters. DNA tests." I sat down. Hard. The room spun. "You knew?" I asked. She nodded. "I found out after I moved to Chicago. I was angry. Confused. I wanted to meet you. Just, talk. But they said I should be careful. That it might hurt you. That you deserve to live your life without this mess." I stared at her. "You didn't just talk. You moved in. You slept in my bed. You told me you loved me." Tears streamed down her face. "I didn't plan that part. I swear. I didn't know how to stop. I felt sick. I ran to the bathroom. Threw up." When I came back out, she was dressed. Sitting on the couch. Silent. I sat across from her. Neither of us spoke for a long time. Then I said, "So what now?" She looked at me. "I'll leave. I'll disappear. You'll never hear from me again." I didn't respond. I couldn't. My brain was on fire. My heart was shattered. Everything I thought I knew, about her, about myself, about my family, was gone. Burned to ash. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat on the floor with Milo curled up beside me, staring at the wall. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face. Every time I tried to breathe, I felt like I was drowning. I kept replaying everything. The cereal aisle. The sticky notes. The way she'd laugh at my dumb jokes. The way she'd cry in her sleep. Was it all fake? Was any of it real? She left the next morning. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't take much. Just a duffel bag and her car keys. I watched her drive away from the window. And I felt empty. Like someone had scooped out my insides and left me hollow. I didn't tell anyone. Not at first. How could I? How do you explain something like that? Hey, remember Emily? Turns out she's my half-sister. I couldn't even say it out loud to myself. I stopped going to work. Stopped answering texts. Milo was the only reason I got out of bed. I'd take him for walks, feed him, sit with him on the porch. But I was gone. Mentally. Emotionally. Just, gone. 2 weeks passed. Then I got a letter. No return address. Just my name. Inside was a photo. The same one I'd seen tucked in her book. Her as a kid. Standing next to a man. But this time, there was writing on the back. Me and Dad. 2002. I stared at it for hours. Then I burned it. A few days later, I got another letter. This one was longer. Typed. From her dad. He said he was sorry. Said he never meant for things to go this far. Said he didn't know Emily would fall in love. Didn't know she'd move in. Didn't know I'd find out. He wrote, I just wanted her to meet you. To see the kind of man you became. I was proud of you, even from afar. I tore the letter in half. Then into quarters. Then into shreds. I didn't want their apologies. I didn't want their explanations. I wanted my life back. I wanted the version of reality I had before all this. But it was gone. And I couldn't unknow what I knew. I started drinking. Not heavily. Just enough to blur the edges. I'd sit on the porch with a bottle of whiskey and stare at the stars. Wondering if she was doing the same. Wondering if she missed me. Wondering if she hated herself. I hated her. And I loved her. And I hated that I loved her. One night, I got a call. Unknown number. I let it ring. Then it rang again. And again. Finally, I picked up. It was her. Her voice was quiet. Shaky. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't respond. I didn't know what I was doing, she continued. I just wanted to feel close to someone. I didn't expect it to be you. I said, almost whispering. You destroyed me. She cried. I could hear it through the phone. I know, she said. I'm so sorry. Then she hung up. I stared at the phone for a long time after she hung up. My thumb hovered over the screen. I wanted to call her back. I wanted to scream. I wanted to ask her why. Why she didn't stop. Why she let it go so far. Why she said she loved me. But I didn't. I just sat there. And cried. I hadn't cried in years. Not since my mom died. Not even at her funeral. But that night, I broke. Completely. I sobbed until my throat hurt. Until my chest felt like it was caving in. Until Milo nudged me with his nose and curled up beside me like he was trying to hold me together. The next morning, I called my boss. Told him I needed time. He said he understood. Said to take whatever I needed. I think he could hear it in my voice, that something inside me had snapped. I started seeing a therapist. Her name was Rachel. She was kind. Patient. Didn't flinch when I told her everything. She just nodded. Asked questions. Let me unravel the mess one thread at a time. I told her about Emily. About the texts. About the photo. About the phone call. About how I felt like I'd been living in a movie, some twisted psychological drama where nothing was real. She said something that stuck with me. She said, "You were violated. Not just emotionally, but existentially. Your sense of self was shattered." I nodded. Because yeah. That's exactly what it felt like. Weeks turned into months. I started going back to work. Started talking to friends again. Started walking Milo farther. Started cooking for myself. Started sleeping through the night, sometimes. But I was different. Something in me had changed. I didn't trust people the same way. Didn't laugh as easily. Didn't open up. I kept things close to the chest. Even with Rachel. Even with myself. One day, I got another letter. This one was from Emily. Handwritten. Pages long. She said she'd moved to Oregon. Was working at a hospice center. Trying to make peace with herself. She said she didn't expect forgiveness. Didn't expect anything. Just wanted me to know she was sorry. That she loved me. That she wished things had been different. I didn't respond. I couldn't. But I didn't throw it away either. I put it in a box. Along with the photo. And the shredded letter from her dad. I labeled it, before. And shoved it in the back of my closet. Sometimes I take it out. Not often. Just when I feel myself slipping. Just when I need to remember that pain has a shape. That it has edges. That it doesn't last forever, but it leaves scars. It's been almost 2 years now. I still live in the same house. Still drive the same truck. Still work at the same shop. But I'm not the same person. Not even close. I've dated a little. Nothing serious. I tell people I'm just not ready. But the truth is, I don't know if I ever will be. Because every time someone gets close, I feel that old panic rise up. That fear. That voice in my head whispering, what if they're lying too? I hate that voice. But I can't shut it off. I've talked to Rachel about it. She says trauma rewires the brain. That trust becomes a battlefield. That healing isn't linear. I believe her. But some days, I just want to scream. I want to go back to that moment in the cereal aisle and walk away. I want to erase every kiss, every laugh, every night we spent tangled in each other. But I can't. Because it happened. Because it was real, even if it shouldn't have been. Sometimes I wonder what she's doing. If she's still in Oregon. If she still thinks about me. If she ever tells anyone the truth. I don't think I'll ever see her again. And maybe that's for the best. But part of me still aches. Still misses her. Still loves her. And I hate that. I hate that love doesn't just disappear when it's poisoned. I've learned to live with the ache. To carry it like a stone in my pocket. Heavy, but manageable. Some days it's lighter. Some days it's unbearable. But it's mine. And I've stopped pretending it's not there. I've also learned something else. Something I didn't expect. That grief isn't just for death. It's for the loss of identity. The loss of innocence. The loss of a future you thought you had. I grieved her. I grieved myself. I grieved the version of me that believed love was simple. And now? Now I'm rebuilding. Slowly. Quietly. Piece by piece. I still keep that box labeled before. I haven't opened it in months. But I know it's there. And maybe one day, I'll burn it. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll keep it as a reminder. Of what I survived. Of what I lost. Of what I learned. I don't know if I'll ever be whole again. But I'm not broken anymore. Just, changed. And maybe that's enough. I wish I could forget. But I can't. So I live. And I try. And I breathe. And I keep walking forward. Even when it hurts.